can love you better, yeah.
Can't love you like I do, no. Ain't nobody love you better than me, better than me.
You're listening to Real Love with Lonnie and Cara podcast. Real life, real love, and real talk. Welcome your hosts, Lonnie and Cara Barker.
Welcome back. This is Lonnie and Cara Barker, and we are with the Real Love podcast. And so we are excited to have another episode with you all. And thank you all for just liking and commenting. This has been a great season thus far. And so, we are going to start with our normal fashion of checking out one of these conversation cards from The And with Skin Deep. This is a couples edition card deck, and we've been doing this kind of every episode just to kind of get you guys geared up to maybe look into making that investment for your relationship. The And has a lot of different cards collections, but this particular one is for couples. So we are going to do a random selection of one card to get this convo started. All right. Did you shuffle?
Yes.
I'll pick in the middle.
All right, you go first.
Okay. Question is, what's the one thing I could do that would dramatically improve my life?
What's the one thing that you could do that could dramatically improve your life?
Yeah, that's what the card says.
That could dramatically improve your life. I would say deepen your walk with Christ or develop a relationship with Jesus Christ. I think that's the one thing that I believe that could dramatically improve your life.
Yeah, I would say so. And in that space, one practical thing that I could do to dramatically improve my life is to not be consumed with the feelings of worry and anxiety and really recenter my focus, like you said, on God. So whether that is getting in prayer, whether that is getting in worship, whether that is just getting back to the basics that I really like to do is journaling, I think that would dramatically improve that consistency.
Okay.
So, same question to you.
My question is, my answer is just that.
Okay.
Deepen my walk with Christ. That's one thing that could dramatically improve my life. Nothing else can. Nothing else can dramatically improve my life more than surrendering to God's will, growing in the knowledge of His Word, in daily communion with Him. Nothing, in my opinion, nothing can dramatically improve my life more than that.
All
My
right.
question is, why do you trust me? Simple. Why do you trust me? Take your time.
Why do I trust you? This is a simple response. Because I choose to trust you. It's a choice.
Okay.
So, I think trust to me is the level of consistency of behaviors, reliability, dependability, all of those things I think wraps in that space of trust. But trust is a choice. Either you choose to trust someone or you choose not to. It's a choice. So I choose to trust you.
Okay. My answer is similar. I agree. It is a choice, but I believe people teach someone how or if they can trust them. So I learned to trust you by the lessons that you teach. I consider your life to be a teacher. And the lesson that you give out determines whether or not you are trustworthy. People teach you how to trust them, or tell you if you can trust them or not. So yes, I agree. Trust is a choice. You choose to trust somebody, but I also believe my decision to trust you is based off what you teach me in the classroom of life together.
Give an example.
Okay. Since you asked.
Yeah, make it practical for the listeners.
Okay, well, I'll make it practical for us. Here's an example, since you asked for one.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to do something and you do not do it, for the first time I say, okay, she just forgot. If you say you're going to do something and then you don't do it, for the second time, I don't think this has to do with her forgetting. If you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, for the third time, by then, I don't think I can trust what you say. I don't think I can trust that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. Because for these last 3 classes I have attended in this life with you, you have shown that if you say you're going to do something, you will not do it. Because you asked for an example, that's a good one. There are various other examples I could give, but that's one example. Now, although the times you say you're going to do something, you don't do it, although the times in between are lengthy, it's not like you do it back to back to back. But over the course of time, if you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, I may not say anything about it, but in my mental chalkboard, I'll write up there, okay, she didn't do what she said she was going to do. And then time goes by, you say you're going to do something without me. Now, keep in mind, this is something that I didn't even ask you to do. You said you was going to do this. Okay. You didn't do what you said you was going to do. In my mind, okay, she said she was going to do it, but let me go ahead and do it myself, because the past couple of times she said she was going to do it, she didn't do it. So in that area, I can't trust that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. That's an example of you teaching someone how you can or cannot be trusted.
Okay.
So, and that's how you do the cards, the And Couples Edition by Skin Deep. You are more than welcome to visit their website, skindeep.com, and you can see the various options they have available. We have the Couples Edition here, and when you use the promotional code REALationships, that's REALationships, you get a discount. And so we're very excited about you guys getting a chance to do that for yourself. So, all right, what's the discussion today, Miss Barker?
All right, so I have been empowered to be able to pick the last couple of episode choices, usually, or topics. Usually Lonnie picks them and I don't know what they are, so he's like, hey, why don't you give a stab at it and try it yourself. And so topic today is having fun. So those conversations, usually the conversation starters usually roll into our topic, but those really did not. So, but I'm about to just do a audible.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Right? Not inaudible, an audible. And we are going to just do flag on the play. We're about to talk about having fun. How do you have fun in a relationship? How do you keep the fun going? Obviously, we have been together for really 30 years, if you want to call it, if you consider the dating and all that all packed into one. So we've been together for a very long time, longer than we've been on the, you think about more percentage of us being together than not. And so, but one of the things that I would say that we do really well is having fun. So we, mentor, coach, or we just have a lot of friends. And sometimes when you unpack the things that they are challenged with, we tend to tell them, where did you lose your fun? Where did you lose your spark? where did you lose the dating? Are you really dating? Are you intentionally dating your spouse? And so when things get tough, it's really easy to forget the fun part of the relationship. But man, this would be really boring, and it would not be enjoyable if you cannot have fun and you cannot have share fun things together. So let's talk about having fun in a relationship.
All right. Well, look, let's go ahead and be foundational first.
Okay.
Let's talk about the necessity of fun, because fun is a great concept. It's a great idea. But let's just be honest. Fun is not going to always be seasons of fun in your marriage or in your relationship. It's not.
Yeah.
But it's very important. It's a necessity. It's a necessity to have fun. It's where, I like to call it recreation, where we get the recreational mindset. It's where you recreate fun space in your relationship. I would say it's necessary to do it frequently and often, because the day-to-day can be mundane. It can get to where you're just caught in this rat race, this routine of waking up, having breakfast, going to work, coming home, going to bed, waking up, having breakfast, going to work, going home, go to bed, so forth. So it can just basically be routine.
Yeah.
And then after a while, you're caught in this routine, and then that passion slowly dwindles.
Yeah.
The excitement slowly fades away, because you're not recreating or having recreational time together, and you're not recreating fun where there's like a recess.
Recess.
Yeah, you know how in elementary school you would have time of recess
on the playground.
Absolutely.
Kickball.
Yeah, kickball. What's
Foursquare.
What's that game called with the
ball,
tetherball, frisbee, red rover, freeze tag, hide and
go seek.
There are so many things we did as kids
That was fun.
for recreation.
Yeah.
Just to really liven things up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, as adults, we lose that childlike mindset. Now, don't get me wrong. You have couples who take vacations and do trips and road trips and things like that. They do that just to get away. But sometimes those are few and far between.
And can be very expensive.
They can be. They can be. But you have to understand, fun has to be a necessity in every relationship. You have to make that a priority to have recreation or recreation, recreate the spark, recreate the passion, recreate the zealousness in your relationship. Because if not, your relationship is going to be, like I said, it's going to be mundane. It's going to be boring.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, when your relationship gets to the point where it's boring, that's when things can start to go awry. Because when you're bored at home, oftentimes the mind has a tendency to look for fun elsewhere.
Yeah, that's good. I literally, when you were talking that, kind of explaining that, which I like that, recreate or recreation, I thought of an acronym. I totally just made this up, but I think it goes FUN. So think about, fun should be part of that fellowship. It should be uninterrupted. To make sure I'm spelling that right. And then it should be non-negotiable. Fellowship that is uninterrupted and non-negotiable. That's what fun needs. And so why I say that is, it should be uninterrupted fellowship. It should be something that you both have some commonality, because it's not fun if, like, for example, we tried to do these planning of date nights. We kind of got off course, quite frankly, but we've been doing date nights. And the date nights, usually we would rotate it. So just like how we pick the cards, we pick these episode topics, each one of us has an opportunity to pick, the date night, what we're going to do. And I remember one date night, went on Eventbrite. I was like, let's do something totally different that we never did.
I already know what you're about to say. I know what you're about to say. I know now what it was.
You know what? I literally thought this was so wonderful. We went to this candle making place. It was out in See?
I know, finish the point. I knew what you were going to talk about.
We did this candle making class, and it was in deep down in Dallas.
No, it was in Houston. We drove so far.
So the directions were a little bit sketch. Where we thought it was like 30 minutes away. It was like an hour, almost 30 minutes away. But hey, we live in the DFW area, so obviously the Waze app just didn't have it right. Anyway, so the place was super cute. I thought it was cute. Lonnie was like, I'm the only guy in here. And it was this little cute, posh little boutique. And you picked your own scents. You picked your own container. And we made candles. And you actually could have a candle and you can title it however you wanted to title it. Well, I thought that would be really, really fun. Him, not so much. Why didn't you think that was fun?
First of all, you up in there smelling like lavender and lilac. The fragrance in that place was like
lilac.
Oh my gosh.
Or like sage, but okay.
Well, and not only that, I was literally the only guy there. And I'm like, this is definitely a place where like you take your girlfriends for a lady or girl's day out or whatever. It was not my cup of tea. I couldn't even force myself to pretend or play like I liked it. So I just said, okay.
Half the time I was like, fix your face.
So I took one for the team. What took away from the fun, even before we got there, was the fact that felt like I drove forever, just for a date night. During what was it? No, was it a Friday night?
It was a Friday night.
Okay, yeah, but still,
playing Friday nights.
I was like, okay, first of all, we driving too far, and then when we drove so far, I was like, when we finally get to where we got to, this wasn't even worth the drive. I didn't have a good time, but I took one for the team, and
we made a wonderful candle. Actually,
yeah, made a candle, and we can check that off the list, and I won't be frequenting that establishment.
So when I think about that, fun, the fellowship should be mutually fun, meaning that it's nice to have a little bit of treats, or you switch it up a little bit. And obviously you should be a relationship. Sometimes you are taking one for the team, because ultimately it's about really quality time, that uninterrupted, as well as that non-negotiable quality time. Mm-hmm. But what makes things really fun is when you find something that you both really have, something that you can lean in on that you would actually really enjoy. Mm-hmm. And that obviously was a crash and burn.
Well, it's a learning opportunity. That's okay. No big deal.
Well, we're in class. Remember the cards that...
No, this ain't got nothing to do. You
have to trust me that I'm going to pick something.
That sure was a terrible lesson for you, because I'm really leery about you picking the places now. If that's the principle you want to go by. Anyway, Cara, it's okay. What it is, y'all, Cara tried to... See, I keep telling her, but she keeps trying. She'll never be able to catch up to me.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
It's always a competition. Competition can be fun, I guess, too.
Okay, but I'm just stating facts at this point. Mm-hmm. When it comes to spontaneity and wowing the wowzers, I got that thing. That's what I do. Cara, yeah, she still got some training in that area. However, with me, it's just what I do. And let's just call a spade here. Not to be competitive, because we're on the same team. However, don't try to catch up, because I've lapped you numerous of times in this area. So Cara just tried to be nice and spontaneous and surprise me, and it was just, unfortunately, it was a dud. It was just it didn't work. But it's okay. Learning opportunity.
Here we go, back to class again.
But no, yeah, I kind of like your nice little acronym: Fellowship, United, Uninterrupted.
Fellowship, uninterrupted, non-negotiable.
Okay, cool. Fellowship, uninterrupted, non-negotiable, meaning that you should not negotiate the fact that you both have to have time of fun and recreation. Completely agree. Mm-hmm. I agree with you 100%.
So how do you get there when, you think about it, we are in the stage where we are pretty much kind of empty nesters. Our youngest is in college, so we really don't have the scurrying of little kids around. So pretty much our day-to-day is working, and we maybe do some things around that, but we don't have the really interruption that could bring with little kids, right? And so there's a lot of people that listen to this podcast, but there's a lot of people that tune in that have little kids. So what are some practical things you think that we can share about when you are two busy individuals, you've got a busy schedule, a busy work schedule, you work outside the house, or maybe one of you does work at home, you have little kids. How do you prioritize fellowship, uninterrupted, non-negotiable fun?
Well, that's you said it. The key word is you prioritize it.
Yeah.
You make it a priority, especially when you have little ones. I mean, we started out obviously with kids. Our first one we had while we were in college.
Yeah.
We didn't have extra money to just go out and just do a whole lot of things. But when we did do stuff, we brought Marika with us, or fortunately we would have in a time where we would either take her to your parents' house or I'd take her to Muskogee, and then that would give us time to have date night. So that's important to have family or friends around that you can trust that will be able to babysit, come over, babysit for you. But then you have that intentional time of date night.
Yeah.
And now keep in mind, if you do have kids, it's important to have fun with the kids, but it's also just as important to have fun time alone if you're able to.
Yeah.
Of course, there are some of you who may not be able to get a babysitter or anything like that, which I understand that. Don't get me wrong, I get that. But if you can find some time to do something alone together, for example, wait till the children go to sleep. Make plans. Hey, look, we're going to stay up late tonight. Maybe watch a movie, have popcorn, do board games, whatever. You can still find time to that you prioritize to do that. Now, keep in mind, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of the fun things that you do don't have to be expensive.
Right.
I can remember so many fun things we've done that was not costly, or as a matter of fact, sometimes didn't cost anything, any money at all.
Yeah.
But it was still fun. It was still memorable. And it was still something that we look back on and be like, wow, that was fun. And it didn't cost us, if any money, or nothing at all.
Yeah.
So don't think that the only fun that you can have that is truly fun is things that cost a lot of money, because that's far from the truth.
Yeah. I think one of the things, so we talked about date night, but kind of making it having fun on a budget. So whether you're at your house or in your apartment or wherever you're staying, look around your place. I'm just thinking about practical. Look around some things to see what are some things that we can incorporate in our fun. Well, it could be, there's some things around the house or around the apartment. Can we go on a walk? Can we go on an intentional walk and conversation, right? If you are on a shoestring budget, it could be, let's go up to our local Dollar Tree or dollar store and find something random there to incorporate into your evening of fun. It could be even cooking something together or watching a meal. One thing that...
Watching a meal?
I mean, not watching a meal. Oh. Watching you eat a meal? I don't know. Watching, making a meal, cooking a meal. But one of the things that I would say that we have been, that has helped our fun is we both love like quality time. Yeah. We love quality time. So that's kind of related to like the 5 love languages. So if you haven't heard about the 5 love languages, that's a really good investment that you can not cost. You can go online and do a test and figure out where your placement is. But specifically, there's 5 love languages, and one of them is quality time. So when we think about quality time, we really try to lean in to figure out what do we really like to do together and how do we maximize that. A couple things that we really like to do is we like to go on trips. Now that may be a cost thing, but one of the other things that we really like to do that does not cost anything is we take walks. We literally have synced our calendars to be able to take some walks. And generally they're walks on the weekend.
The And, Couples Edition by The Skin Deep. The And is a card game with intimate and thought-provoking questions that help embrace vulnerability and deeper conversations for couples. Visit theskindeep.com to purchase your deck today. And because you tune into the podcast, you can receive 10% off your entire purchase just by using the promo code REALationships. That's right, the promo code REALationships. Visit theskindeep.com and tell them Lonnie and Cara sent you.
So I'm going on walks. It's kind of fun. When I think about, we have really good conversation. We have a normal path that we take. It is kind of a consistent path. But what makes it a little bit of kind of funny in the fun is we always stop at a Starbucks. Well, I didn't say always, but we tend to stop there. We're like a regular. And when we don't show up, they're like, where have you guys, they literally like, where have you guys been? We haven't seen you. Or if like the last time on our walk, we went to Starbucks later at night because we took a later night stop. And one of the baristas was like, wait, you guys are here really late. What's going on? So really, it's so funny that they know our routine. But he is so comical where they already know it because this is part of our routine. They're like, who are you today? What's the name that I need to attach to your order? Because it's always random. I think the last time his name was Benson. If you don't know who Benson is, it's like a 1980s show. So Gen Z or folks, you don't even know what Benson is. But that was his name. So it's just kind of funny, but fun. And that doesn't cost you anything, maybe a Starbucks drink. But in generally, that could be your date night. Mm-hmm. The other thing, though, I think about date nights and having fun, because I think this is one thing I think people should not miss, is you should at least plan one date, at a minimum a month. But honestly, if you could really get in a routine, at least date your spouse, date your partner, have a date night once a week. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's once a week is a healthy balance. Yes, I think it's doable. Now, some of y'all might feel some type of way about this, but it is what it is. You know, I say this in love. In the beginning, you know, in the Genesis part of your dating phases, you guys found ways to date and to you know, spend time together, do whatever. Now, of course, I understand the excuses that there could be, because I could use those same excuses. Oh, we have kids now. Oh, my job now. Oh, this. Oh, that. Mm-hmm. But for those of you that know, you know what excuses are. Now, we can go one or two ways with the definition of excuses. But for the sake of politically correctness, I will say excuses are tools of the incompetent that build bridges that lead to nowhere. Those who use these tools are masters of nothing. However, if I was back in my wrestling days, my wrestling coach would say, excuses are like buttholes. Everybody got one and they all stink. So what I'm saying is this. You can easily use the excuse of, okay, the kids. Don't use the kids as no excuse, because that is not a good excuse. We had kids and we still made it work. Yep. Don't use the job as an excuse, because everybody's busy. That's not a good excuse. Don't use the excuse as, oh, my wife, she don't really like to do it, or my husband don't like to. Okay, wait, pause. How did y'all stay together this long? How did y'all get together? Because somebody had to like something.
Yeah, that's true.
So forget all the excuses.
They were lying about it.
Forget all the excuses. One day out of the week, you can prioritize time to spend together to do something intentionally, to have recreation or recreation. I'm telling you right now, if you don't do it, you're setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. Because watch this. I bet all right, I don't want to step on too many toes, so I'm going to do it this way. I guarantee.
Stepped on.
Okay. Well, I guarantee you, for those of you who attend church,
hold your toes back, y'all,
and you have financial goals, I bet if your church said, "Hey, we're paying for everybody to attend the Dave Ramsey course," I bet you will find time to get there, because you have financial goals and you want to either get out of debt, or you have financial dreams that you want to achieve. You have properties that you want to purchase. You have investments you want to make. Yeah. You will prioritize your time so that you can get there to make that dream come true. Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's one example. There are so many other things that you will make time for because that's what you truly desire. Yeah. Now, when it comes to dating and having fun and recreation, you want to put that to the side. But I guarantee you right now, and I'm telling you from firsthand experience, if you do not make fun and dating a priority, it will cost you something in your marriage. I guarantee you. So I'm telling you from experience, so you can either take heed to the advice or you can see for yourself.
Yeah. It's worth it's part of the investment. Your marriage, or we're talking about marriage here, but also talking about just generally relationships, healthy relationships. Right. The number one person from a prioritization should be your partner. So outside of God and that alignment, but the next person should be your partner. If you're not prioritizing that fellowship, uninterrupted, right? Or uninterrupted, non-negotiable time together, then something else will get in that prioritization list. And I think what you were saying is work. We can easily figure out how to have fun or whatever if we think it's going to be the next title bump or the next promotion or whatever. You're going to do everything you can to invest in that. If it's trying to do from your finances, you're going to do the classes or try to figure out how you can refinance this or whatever to make sure that your finances are right. You've got the right 401k, you got the right mutual funds, you got the right all of that. If it's your car, you're going to prioritize. You're going to make sure it's all shined and cleaned up every weekend, make sure it's gassed up and it's smelling good inside. All of that. Leather looks great. The outside is shined and waxed and all of that. Whether that is, you want to make sure your hair, for ladies, you want to make sure your hair is all slayed to the side or whatever. You want to make sure your eyebrows are threaded or your lips are done or whatever you're trying to do, you will prioritize that. So that amount of effort that you take should be the same or even more in the relationship. Absolutely. So fun, I think, can be defined in many ways, but I think the important thing is, as a couple, you have to figure out, and how do you define fun? What would be fun for us? What do we really enjoy? And maybe you make it very, very simple, right? You write it down. It's like, okay, this is things that I love to do. Yeah. What do you love to do? Yeah. Or any things that you love to do that I love to do that we could do together?
And you have to be strategic. Fellas, let me let y'all know something. And I'm always trying to look out for y'all.
So you've said date night, now you said strategic. Okay. Strategic date nights?
Fellas, look, man. And I'm probably about to really reveal my secret to Kara because she don't know I be doing this.
Oh, here we go.
Every once in a while, I'll send Kara a text and say, hey, by the end of the day, I want you to make a list of 10 things that you're passionate about. Oh, she don't know why I asked that question. Sometimes she'll abide by the rules, or she'll just get it to me a day or two later. But I take those answers and I put them in my vault. Then I'll ask another random question. Name 5 places that you've never been that you would like to go. Okay. Then we'll sit. She think we're just having a good conversation. But I take those things, I put them in my vault. Give me your top 5 guilty pleasures. That was random. Bear. Oh, why do you want to know that? Just give them to me.
Do you even know what they were?
Listen, this is not the time to try to test me, Jack.
Well, you said you are the teacher.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So learn.
So get the
how about this?
Get the chalkboard out and write this down, Jack.
How about you just let me finish telling my fellas how to come up?
Oh, okay. Whatever, Jack.
But no, you ask those questions randomly. Now, being that women are the way they are, they're inquisitive. They want to know why you want to know this. Why you know that, that's fine. Look over that. Okay. Get the information, put it in the vault. Then what you do is you go to your vault and then you strategically set out something because, she probably thinking the whole time, oh, he doesn't ever want to do anything. He's always wanting to just stay home and watch the game. Yeah, okay, fine. But then what you do is, you set up times whether, okay, birthday's coming up. Boom, boom, boom. Go to the vault. Here's what I'm going to do. Boom, 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 boom. Or anniversary's coming up. Cool. Go to the vault. This is what she said. Boom, 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 boom. You just simply use what she told you. Whatever she give you, you take that and you make that the fun. Now, I can give this advice because I'm the champion in this area.
Okay.
It's what I do.
The champion of fun.
Oh, where's the lie?
Well, I'm trying. I feel like
before you even try.
I feel
so you really gonna sit here and try to imply?
Yes, I'm not implying.
You're okay. So let me make sure I get this correct. you're going to sit here, you're going to imply that I do not knock it out the park when it comes to unexpected surprises, wowing you, or basically, this is what you asked for, so I'm going to give you that. And then you just dumbfounded on how did you pull it off. I'm not the champion in the area. Okay, that's fine. I'm not. I still got more to learn. Thanks, Miss Crabtree, for teaching me that lesson. Yeah. So, but no, fellas.
I would say this. Lonnie is definitely knocks out of part when it's like the big fun things. Like, whoa. You're like, oh my gosh. But like the small things, going back to the example of the candle or going on, like
hold on.
The candle.
What's my Tell Jordan song back when I was a lowercase G? Or now I'm a big G, dollar bill. You don't even remember that song.
Yes,
this is how we do it.
Yes, I
do. All right, so I'm good at the big G, but I'm a terrible lowercase G. Finish your point. I'm good at the big things, but the small things I'm terrible. I get it. Okay. Teach me more. Finish.
He's so grantable.
Okay.
Grade eight.
I'm only going. You said I'm good at the big stuff, but I still got work to do on the little stuff. Okay.
So I'm saying the simple things.
Okay.
So, but here's the thing, and I think it's fun, is so yes, you need to be intentional with date night. You've got to be intentional with your relationship. You got to be strategic, and you've got to really. Fun does take place where you're being a good listener to find out what they like to do. I do think sometimes you do take one for the team because it's not always about you.
It's not.
It's not.
We are on the same page. I agree.
So we are on the same page there. The other thing I think when you think about having fun, so we talk about having fun on a low or being practical on a budget. We talked about being strategic and asking what each other likes to do. Other things that I think that has with fun, it does evolve. So I think it's important to do check-ins because some things that I thought was fun back in the day is no longer fun.
Oh yeah, I agree.
So why you say that? So you said that like completely.
Child. Okay. Let's go ahead and just keep it a buck.
Keep it a buck.
Back in the day when you used to run around club hopping, you like to go to the clubs.
You were there.
Okay, but I'm saying back in the day. Then let's talk about when we went to Miami. That last time we was in Miami, we was down there on South Beach.
We looked
and I was
so
like
out of place.
I'm like,
what we realized. So fun for our kids, which is in that Gen Z space.
They're not Gen Z. They're millennials.
Well, millennials, isn't that the same?
No, just say
whatever.
Our kids.
Our kids.
Okay.
The 20-somethings. The 20-somethings, South Beach, that whole space is, that's life. That did not give us life. It was several years ago.
Anymore.
We are not there. We look so crazy. It almost
don't say we. You the one look crazy. You the one look like a mom out there on the strip. I was cool. I was.
He looked like a dad with dad jeans, with some white New Balance and some white tennis shoes.
I did not have no New Balance. I don't even own New Balance. I had on Hokas.
Well, Hokas. Now y'all know Hokas are comfortable, but ain't nobody
make your point.
Under 30 wearing them Hokas.
Let me go ahead and finish the point she making. You evolve. Back in the day, what used to be fun. Back in the day, what used to be fun, we are now evolved to something. I can't pull up to say, hey, Cara, date night tonight. We're going to Club Live in Miami. Oh, we're going to pop bottles.
Because here's the crazy thing is, we did that almost, 15 years?
No, it's longer than that.
Was it longer than that?
Yeah. Cara, Marika's 28, about to be 29.
Yeah, it was like 29, almost 20 some years ago. We went to a club that was hopping. And we were just thinking about, remember we got married really young. So the time we were at the club, we were in that age group. We were in the age group. So being 24, 25, 26, we were in the right spot.
Then
that's 20 years ago. So let's just pop up and roll in that space.
Yeah.
I think actually when we went to Club Live on South Beach or in South Beach area, it was Coolio. No,
Coolio was performing. No, and then Fabulous was supposed to come.
But that was actually like a retro night And we knew who Coolio. We knew of Coolio because obviously Coolio was
Rest
in
in
our
peace,
group.
Coolio, by the way.
Oh, rest in peace, Coolio. But he looked crazy. Now, I'm saying it. He was out of place. He was at that point, we was looking like he was in his 50s. And we were like, look at Coolio. He looks really crazy.
Yeah.
He looks really, really crazy.
Right.
And so you got to know when to fold them.
Yeah, basically.
Know
I'm
when
up
to
in the
hold
cl-
'em,
I'm up
know
in
when
the
to
club
fold 'em.
wishing I had a bed. I'm sleepy. I'm like, man, I know I should be asleep. I'm tired. Nah. Anyway,
But that's an example of
you got
some
you
things
evolve. That's exactly right. Things
But you got to
evolve.
communicate too. You got to communicate too,
Right.
so that ultimately, when you are having fun time together, it's mutually fun. It is no fun when one person's having fun and the other person's not. I think about this: you're going to an event and the other person is basically a wallflower sitting on the wall because they don't even want to be there, and you just is having fun, and the other person's like, "Just kill me, just kill me." Right?
Yeah, that's right. Because that takes away from the fun. I agree. It has to be something that you mutually like, that you agree upon. Now, one thing I can say too is also what is fun is trying something new for the first time together.
Oh, I love that.
That's what's fun.
Yeah.
That because you both understand you're doing it together for the first time. Neither of you have done it before.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do it for the first time, that way you both will discover if you both like it or not.
Yeah.
You know, or you go on a trip somewhere that you've never been to a place before.
Yeah.
You go to a place, you realize, hey, this is cool. I like it here. It's exceeded my expectations. Or it's like, okay, we came, we know we're not going to come back.
Yeah.
But doing things for the very first time together, that's fun in and of itself, because it's like you don't know what to expect, because you both have never done it before. You've never been there before. And so you experience those things together. And it's just one of the things that goes in the memory bank of, we did this first together.
Yeah, we've done a lot of trips, I would say, because that's one of the things that we both would probably say we agree of. We liked going on trips.
Yes.
Whether they're small, domestic, U.S. trips, or international trips. But I remember there was one trip that we went to in Colorado, specifically Denver. We did not. No offense to anybody that lives in Denver. You may love it. It just did not work for us.
it didn't work.
It did not work for us. It was very quickly, we're like, this is not fun.
Mm-hmm.
We are not fun. We're not outdoorsy people. I mean, even though the mountains and all that is very beautiful, but we are not. We don't climb, we don't hike. That just was not our flow. It was just not our flow. So we learned that, but we learned that together because we'd never been there before. But we've been on some other trips. We're like, wow, that was really fun.
Yeah.
A fun thing could be even a road trip. So you may say that doesn't seem very fun, but it could be a local somewhere not too far, 2 hours
Maybe
distance,
2 to 3 hour
2
distance.
to 3 hour distance where you are, going to randomly pick a restaurant when you get into a town that you really have never been, right? Have a lot of conversations, maybe use those conversation cards on the road trip. There's ways that you can have fun.
Yeah.
One of the other things I think that's a cost friendly is going to your local retail store or online or whatever and getting like a board game. So we've done that. I think that we've recently played, is it called Bananas? Which is
Bananagram.
kind of like a Scrabble in a
It's
roundabout.
Bananagram. Yeah.
Bananagram.
There's so many different board games that you can do. Outburst is a good one. Obviously Jenga is a fun one too. There's so many. I mean, I don't even want to start naming them all because there are so many that are lots of fun that you can do just for fun at home. And order pizza, make tacos, do whatever. It's just random things that you can do that don't cost a lot of money. Like Cara mentioned, you don't necessarily have to do it splurging to have a fun date night. You can, in fact, there have been times where, okay, here's the budget, $50. We're gonna make it work off of this.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, you could do more, but this is based on the budget. Now, just to create balance here, in my opinion, this is me speaking. I ain't giving no advice. I'm just telling you how I am. Okay. Sometimes I don't want no budgets. I don't care about budgets. If we going somewhere. Now there have been times we've gone. My favorite place to go, and it ain't no debate. When we've gone to Africa, don't come telling me about no budget now. Don't come telling me about how much we got. Nah, forget that. Whatever. Africa is like, okay.
You want to be specific, so when you go to the continent, or is there a specific country?
Yeah, South Africa. Yes,
There you go.
South Africa specifically. Joburg or Cape Town. You ain't giving me no budget, Jack. You ain't finna tell me I have
I
no.
can't be Jack. You're
I'm
Jack.
sorry. Okay, sorry. Now, okay, sorry. When I get there, look, my eyes are gonna see everything. I wanna get like you get when you go to certain places. So I now understand what it feels like when you go to Mervin's or old school store,
They don't even
name
have a
brand,
Mervin's. I don't even go
or
there.
used to go to TG&Y, all them.
TG&Y. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
He's
but
so
no.
out of control.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, whenever I go to certain places, don't be talking about no budgets. Don't be telling me no, because I prepare for this. I'm ready. Okay, for example, when we went to Paris back in.
Oh, that was fun.
When we went to Paris in February.
So that's like the big G.
Yes, exactly. We were there for Valentine's Day, whatever. Now that we're gone, I didn't bring this to your attention, but now that we're back, now that we're away from Paris, did you ever once tell me, A, where we couldn't go, or B, what you couldn't buy, or B, or C, what you couldn't do? At any time did I ever say that?
No, because I'm pretty reasonable.
But see, whether you're reasonable or not, I made up in my mind, whatever she want to do, we're going to do it. Wherever she want to go. We went into every store. We went into you wanted to go to the Chanel store. We're sitting up in there looking for something. Oh my God. I didn't say nothing though. I put a smile on my face, but in my mind I'm thinking, okay, but I didn't know. I said, I didn't have no kind of cap, no kind of limit.
Yeah.
So there are times that you want to create a time where you give your partner, your husband or your wife, that opportunity to just feel as if, okay, oh, this is great. This is unbelievable. They deserve that. Give them that every once in a while. You can't do it all the time, but every once in a while, man, just give them that. Because the look on Cara's face, now we've been a lot of places, y'all, but for some reason, when we was in France, she was in hog heaven, Jack. I was like, oh my gosh. It was almost sickening. I'm like, this is just beyond ridiculous.
It was so great.
But
think about one of the fun things we did there. I don't know if you thought it was fun.
What?
Remember we had a competition we decided, because it was Paris and everybody has a beret. I mean, I don't know how you don't have a beret. And we're like, let's count the number of berets.
The red ones.
But it had to be red ones.
Yes.
It was because it was actually then Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. And we made it into it's like you could literally do so many things sporadic.
Yes,
and have fun.
Yeah, you can. We even on the road trips, we play the alphabet game.
Yeah,
that's fun. We even incorporate that with the kids. Yeah, it's not fun whenever you're losing. Obviously, Cara.
That's true.
But we said all that to say this.
Yeah.
The Bible says laughter does a heart good like medicine. You want to have fun times to recreate the passion, the zeal, the vibe in your relationship, because nobody wants to be in a relationship where everything is mundane all the time. Yes, I understand if you have children, little babies, you have to factor that into the equation. We've been there. We understand what that's like. But that does not take away from the fact that you still have to give priority and intentionality to your spouse to let them know that, hey, I love you, I appreciate you, and I enjoy doing life with you together.
Yeah, fun is like pops of color. I feel like it's like pops of color on a blank canvas. So we talk about fun being fellowship, uninterrupted, non-negotiable time. I think that's one of those things. I'd also add another, if it was a different you, I would say unapologetic time, meaning that you want to have time together to have the pops of color. You may not have the opportunity to have a whole huge mosaic of colors because of whatever your circumstances, but when you do have fun, make it count. Make it matter. Make it as an investment. Make it as a memory, right? Because those are the things, when things do get hard or things get tough or when life is lifing, you can go back to the pops of color, which really is the pops of fun. That's really what it's about. Your relationship is an investment. You can invest in a lot of different things, and we all do. There's a lot of things that will consume and capture our time and our moments, but you definitely want to make sure the moments matter, and that is having fun. Yeah,
and I want to give encouragement to that couple who really feels like things are really tight right now. And you are really struggling, whether that's financially, emotionally, relationally. We've been there. And I tell you, I understand what that's like. And so for if that's you that's listening, I want to give you a ray of hope. because when I look back and think about some of the really best times that we've had together, it was during the times where we were struggling, when we didn't have a whole lot of money, when we didn't have a whole lot of money in the bank account. I remember times, like Cara mentioned, we like to go on walks. When I remember we were living in Missouri, and we went on our walk, and we stopped at that local, I think it was the break time, and then the McDonald's. Yeah. And Cara didn't know I had a $5 bill in my shoe. Yeah. And I was like, look, we're gonna stop right here, get us a little something. And Cara's like,
I was so like, if there was a sound of like glee, that was like,
yeah.
I was like, so. I mean, I think back, my gosh, it was like probably a $2 breakfast sandwich and a juice or something like that. But
and we
shared it, and it made it special. And I would always, eventually, I was like, okay, you got something in you. After a while, I was thinking,
that was a problem. I created,
He now created, he created a monster.
Right. But I want to encourage that couple who may just be, dealing with hardship right now. Yeah. You're not going to be at this place forever. Yeah. Just know that there's better days ahead of you, and right now is only a season. And so I want to encourage you and let you know that we've been there. We know what it's like to have those hard times, and it seems like you don't feel like you have the desire or the passion to try to create fun. But trust me, this is the moments where you should dig in and just use what you got, so that you can make sure that you guys can inspire each other, encourage one another, that where you are right now is not where you always will be.
Find the pops of color.
Yes. Well, thank you all so much. We're going to wrap up. Thank you for joining us. We would really encourage you all to send us an email with questions, topics, ideas that you would like for us to talk about. We're open to them. Actually, I would say nothing is off limits for us. We'll talk about it all. Yep. But thank you all again for joining us. We pray that God will bless you abundantly. Peace.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Real Love with Lonnie and Cara. For more information, visit our website at REALationships.net.